Hey everybody, it's me, Edward Jones. I'm back with a new video. Are the parents responsible? This is my video. I'm doing a short video in response to the situation that happened with that. I think it's called Oxford High School in Michigan. First, I want to say rest in peace to those who had their lives stolen from them. But I also want to give a big thumbs up for the heroic action of Tate Myre. He was a football student. He's a football player. He was also a student at the high school. He was shot multiple times trying to wrestle the gun from the killer, and he was shot. And he died as a result of standing in the way. And I gotta say, I'm actually proud to see an action taken by such a young man, because it shows that same spirit of wanting to do something in the face of danger, or trying to do what you can to save lives, even at the expense of your own, is something that's not gone away. I believe we saw that with Kyle Rittenhouse when he did what he, I'm not talking about the shooting, but when he went into a chaotic situation to try to bring some order, to try to help people. We saw that in his situation. And we saw the outcome that came as a result of it. But he was very in control of what he did. I think I left a comment somewhere talking about what happened at that high school. I said I wish Tate had Kyle backing him up, because it's unfortunate that he had to pass away in doing a heroic act. And quite frankly, this is one of those situations where I got to say that teens having guns actually is not a bad idea. Even with what's going on in high school, I think it's not a bad idea, considering what's happened throughout history, what's happened throughout time, where young people have been exposed to danger, have been exposed to extreme violence, and have been left at the mercy of violent predators. People may want to say that, oh, we can't trust, these kids don't know what they're doing, they're just teenagers. Well, aren't you? Well, self-defense is something that's very simple. I think it's a very simple concept, and the tools associated with it aren't difficult to master. I think if we're trying to set up young people for adulthood to be out in the real world, we must face facts about violent encounters. And just saying, just stay away from dangerous areas. No, that's not enough, because danger can actually find you. And so it's very important for young people to know how to handle those situations. If they have the opportunity to flee, do it. But if they can't, you fight in any which way you can. And I gotta say, with what we've seen with Kyle Rittenhouse, it's possible. It's highly probable. It's been done in many other situations, but again, I'm thankful to have known. I'm thankful to have heard of someone like Tate Myre, that he was willing to put his life on the line to stop a dangerous person and help other people. He paid with his life, but hey, he did what a lot of people may not even thought of doing, and that's putting others before themselves to save others. So I commend him for what he did. I pray that his soul's at rest. Now, in the matter of the killer's parents, I don't know the killer's name, and I guess it's not really important to me right now. But his parents, they had fled after hearing about what happened. They were later caught. I guess they had charges pressed against them, and there are people saying that that the parents should be held responsible for what they did. They had a disturbed child. They bought him a gun. My father bought him a pistol, and they didn't keep it locked up. And so they're saying that they should be held responsible for what happened. Now, I remember during my teen years, I was trusted with a lot of different responsibilities by my grandparents. On the property, I was trusted with different vehicles, with tools. Even with guns that they had in the house, they didn't keep them. They didn't keep them all that well hidden, but they were there in the house. And I had responsibilities placed on me, so that I will be able to I will be better able to deal with things, and as I get on my own. Now, did his parents do that? I think I can say that, I guess it's highly debatable, but from his actions, he had other stuff going on in his head. Now there's a case of, he had other stuff going on in his head. Should the parents have been mindful of what, mindful of that? They should have, but let's be honest. How many parents actually want to come to terms with the fact that their child is mentally disturbed? Many parents will want to give their children the benefit of the doubt because it's unfathomable. You don't want to. No parent wants to think of their child as being a potential killer. And I understand there's situations where you have to face facts that your child is disturbed, and there's something needs to be done. But again, this is someone's child. How would you? And how would you react if someone were saying that about your child? Would you deny it because you say, no, my child couldn't do anything like that, and there's no way I can think of my child doing something like that? Or would you, entertain the thought of your child potentially doing something horrible to someone else? And if you could think about that and think that there's a possibility of it, and you think about what's the probability of it happening, and if the probability is high, well, what do you do after that? So these are things that a lot of parents may not have thought about because no parent wants to think about that. And that's how a lot of these situations happen. No parent wants to think about their child doing something like that because it's seen as a disturbing thing to think about. So I can't really fault the parents all that much because I'm not a parent myself. But I can understand that a parent may not want to think about their child doing, being in that situation. But here we are. Ultimately, all the blame has to fall on the person who committed those horrible acts. So I'm going to say that I can't blame the parents. At least I can't blame them criminally. I can't see charges being placed on them because someone can say, well, they should have had the gun properly stored up. Well, we've seen in Wisconsin what could be done with an SUV. So if someone is so determined to harm other people, having one method locked up, you can say it might slow them down, but there's always various methods available for someone to utilize to exact harm on others. So going on about the gun about the gun not being locked up, I think it's a moot point. It's moot at this point. Buying the gun for their child, I guess you could say it can be seen as being unwise, but I think that deals with that comes down to the child, the type of behavior the child exhibits, and the parents' honesty about their own children. Like I said, I had access to many different things that someone may think as like, why would a teenager be able to get his hands on that? But I got my hands on stuff like that. And I even was able to have a reputation in my school for being someone who actually used tools a lot, primarily chainsaws. And no one really thought much about it. In fact, I even did repair work for teachers. So I can't say that something like a firearm should be kept from a child, or kept from all teenagers. I think that should be done on a case by case basis. And should be left up to the parents. But again, the parents have to be honest about the type of child that they have. But ultimately, all responsibility should fall on the person who acted, and I believe all responsibility should fall on that teenager who murdered those individuals, who is suspected of murdering those individuals. But now I also ask this question: if you want to blame the parents, how much blame can be also placed? How much blame can also be placed on the administration? Because just like with Nicholas Cruz, with the matter that happened in Florida, not only did the school know about his behavior, but the FBI was also privy to that guy and didn't act on it. So again, it's like how far down the line are we going to go with who to assign blame? I personally think all blame, the school The school could have their reputation tarnished, just like as the parents are going to have their reputation tarnished because of the action of their children or action of their child. Ultimately, all blame should fall on the one who took those that took the lives of those students, and also who injured those other individuals at the school. So, I'm not the type of person who's gonna be going on. Oh, the parents should be brought up on charges. I'm not. I know. I say let's focus on who did the acts first before we want to start jumping to conclusions. Because that seems to be the case. That seems to happen constantly. Whenever there's something that happens, there's always blame that wants to be assigned to something that had nothing to do, who had no direct action involved with what went on. Whether it be a gun company, the gun, video games, things like that. No, they always want to assign blame to something else rather than assigning blame to the person who actually acted on, who committed that heinous act. So I'm not doing that. I'm gonna say let's focus all our attention on this individual who committed this horrible atrocity, and figure out what punishment was to be meted out to him if he's found guilty. But I'm not assigning any criminal blame to the parents. I would assign social blame. I would say that the parents can be looked at as being short-sighted, as not as being dense, not seeing that they may have had a disturbed child in their hands, and also I can say that some social blame can be placed on the administration that didn't act soon enough, because apparently the parents actually being contacted out. They got contacted a few hours before the whole mess went down. So if the student has shown to be quite disturbed, even if we want to say that he was being bullied, why was nothing done soon enough? Why weren't these things being taken seriously? Now I can see why I can see why they might be taken as serious, because it's high school. Everyone's being picked on for something. But I will say, if someone's being bullied, that attention needs to be drawn. It needs to be drawn to the situation before it gets out of hand. Before the person who's getting bullied gets, they hurt themselves, or the person who's doing the bullying hurts them, or the person who is being bullied lashes out and hurts other people, as we might have seen in this situation. But those are my thoughts. Please tell me what you think. Do you think the parents, the parents should be criminally charged? Do you think they're being made an example of? I love to read everyone's comments. Please share your thoughts. Like, share, and subscribe. If you want to help out with the channel, look for the give up that cheese button on my YouTube homepage. It'll take you to PayPal. All donation amounts are appreciated. Any gripes, complaints, send me a PM. I'll see what I can do to address them. That's my video. Are the parents to blame? I'm Edward Jones. You guys take care. Be safe. Stay strapped. And God bless.